Hello?
Hello.
Of course, guaranteed. I should, one of these days, Scrublord, I'm going to need a skin with a t-shirt that says I'm on mute, because I do it so often. So good to see you, Scrublord. Good to see you, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. You've been a busy fox and had a very busy day with lots of meetings. Welcome in, Jay. Jay is first here, apparently. Jay likes the stickers and the hashtag sounds, so can't blame him. Apologies to those of you who are getting an ad break. Ad breaks suck. We don't like them, but hey, they're a fact of life. Why is this?
Hey, listen!
No! Don't wanna! Right, the chicken that I never actually sent the last time. Okay. I came back here for something. I just can't remember what it was. I cannot remember what it was. Do you actually want an egg prediction? Sure. Okay, we'll start it with an egg prediction. Cool. We can do that. Sure. The platforms. Predictions. Oh, okay, I'm gonna get too lazy to write my own. And this again. There we go. Okay, so you'll see it on the screen. Will Dell get a chicken? And it's just a generic prediction. So we toss up to 5 eggs and see if one of those will crack open a chicken. Whatever. Crack open a chicken pop out? Sure. Do I have cherry logs in here?
The next race is about to begin. Please put !play in the chat.
You can play that one all you want, but unfortunately that's not actually tied to the request to play marbles. That's a different thing. The request to play marbles, at this point in time, should be... Where is it here? Marbles is on the list somewhere. Toward the bottom. I guess the list is too long. So marbles is toward the bottom. Single track for 400 clues, and a pack of 5 tracks for 1500 clues. And I'm grabbing a little bit more cherry, just because I'm not sure I'm going to have enough to do things as we want. So grabbing the bit of the cherry we need. Oh, don't need that. This allows me to go ahead and put in the cherry wood border 1 block out before I take out the inner layer of it. It just makes it a bit easier for me to picture what I'm up to. Alright. Did I get it all? Nope, I didn't. There, now we should be getting some despawn.
The next race is about to begin. Please put !play in the chat.
Wow! Scrublord! Are you sure you're okay? Have you taken leave of your senses? I very strongly appreciate that. If you want to surprise me, you're doing a very good job. Thank you. I'm glad I could make your day enough to make that worthwhile. That makes me feel good. Alright. So... Got egg prediction up still. Oh, I can't even hit the right button today. One of the perks to playing from mobile is the fact that you don't have any Windows keys to accidentally press. And start menus and so forth. Do I have any cherry I left in here? No. Put those away and sticks away. Sort. Oh, I know. There was a reason I came back, because I wanted the bone blocks. Yes. That was what I wanted. Because by moving the blocks out one floor... Okay. So we have our bone blocks that should get us around the edge. I'm pulling things out further. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that should do the trick. Okay. Now I should have enough of random stuff. And that should do it. I feel like I'm missing something. Those shulkers are empty, so what I will do then, when I get over to the other side, is I can pull out another shulker and then dump some of this stuff just so I feel a little bit more organized. Because, yeah. Me? Organized since when? Never! Never gonna happen! Alright. And James, once again, at some point, I will figure it out, but we can pull this frame out for the roof portal, mess with it again, and go over there. So pulling down the darker fences in the center, and we'll put the portal over there. So that way people can go one side into the town and one side straight into the castle, and this bit into the keep will make more sense. But not critical for any sort of run instantly. I'm just trying to get as much done as I can do before I head off to Ireland for 2.5 weeks. Alrighty. Hey Springer, how are you doing? Have yourself a great evening. It is quite late for you. My daughter and I were talking about the math. So I said, if someone her age was still up at this hour trying to watch me stream, should I be surprised and encourage them to go to bed? She said, she sat there for a minute, did the calculations in her head, and then said, yes, for sure. So yeah, being as you're, at least legal age, I don't have to worry about sending you off to bed. But I encourage you to get some good sleep, and thank you very, very much for dropping in. And I hope my answer to you earlier about what plugin I was using to get the rather janky closed captions on the screen was useful. I did see that I gave you plenty of information and you were happy with that, but hopefully it will help the people that you're passing it on to. Ha 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 ha. Give me just 1 second. I have this one. Wrong button. Oh, nope. Booey. Booey! There we go. That one. Enjoy. Slow it down just a little. So I've heard the chime go through. We've got a closed chicken prediction with 3 users in there. 2 think we shall get an egg only, and 1 thinks we will actually get a chicken out of it. So as soon as I can get to the other side, hop, then we can grab our eggs out of the ender chest and find out. I was going to say, where did I put them? And I forgot that I had put them inside this time. Okay. It's eggs time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Sadly, no chicken this time. Egg. All right. There we go. Yeah, and what was I going to say?
And now for something completely different.
Joining the chicken predict late. Well, you would have been correct. It's too bad you weren't able to spend your points. Oh well, maybe later. You could look at it this way. If you predict no chicken and had no opportunity to put points in, then you got your 0 points back. Right? Awesome. Okay. So, just gonna get myself to the point where I am not going to be dead. Let's just try this. Escape. And be right back. Just gonna get the marble screen going. You too. You too, Springer. Good night, good rest, and we'll see you again soon. Doop doody doop. We're just about there. The marble screen is coming up as we speak. Downloading content. What the heck? Of course, it insists on having an update right now. The timing is terrible.
The next race is about to begin. Please put exclamation point play in the chat.
You're a tiny bit early. Launch the game, please. All else failed. Let's do it this way. See? Game is trying to come up. Slowly but surely. Of course, it's launching 32% of the content. You crazy download. Yes, you're seeing... Yes. Oh, wait. 50%. Come on, game. People are actually asking for you. In the meantime, let's see. Let's just throw up a quick Hill Champ game. You can see that my marbles is updating. It's taking forever. That's what happens when we don't play it often enough. Do, 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 do. Alrighty. Come on, game. Yes. Make the... Where are we going? Make the change, launch the game. Running it. What? Running an install script. Are you kidding me? Game. Seriously. Why do I need to know that every time? Alright, so the Scrublord is the new Champion of the Hill using the Plunger, which means that Champion of the Hill, as a game, where are we here? Is now saying Hill Champion is Scrublord XL1. So if you want to try changing that to your name, just claim the game. So what I'm going to do, Jay, just for now, because this marble is being dumb, is I'm going to refund the points for that, and we can try again in a little bit. Why, thank you, Scrublord, for being the biggest fan. Okay. All right. So, being as this is being dumb and not wanting to cooperate, because it's annoyed with the redistributable, oh, jeez. I can't even say it! So what I'm going to do is I refunded the points, and I'm going to temporarily shut down that channel point reward marbles, unfortunately. And we'll see if we can get this one working so it's back again tomorrow. But I'll play with it after stream. Alright, let's get back into the game. And here we go. What? Oh, Geek Out Music. 6 songs with the name of a holiday in the title. I see. Gotcha. So Holly Jolly Christmas is definitely a good title. We're gonna end up with a lot of Christmas titles, for sure. White Christmas is another one. But there's some also, I'm trying to remember what they are. I know there's some really good Hanukkah songs. I can't even think of it at the moment, though. And the reason I say I know that is because we're not talking just about the goofiness from Adam Sandler. The gal I'm named after actually had a whole special for Hanukkah stuff for kids years and years ago. I've only seen it once because I'm not Jewish. So it was more of an interest piece as opposed to a regular thing. So now it looks like Jay is the biggest fan. So now it switches that one. We'll probably now say, if I bring it up again, so we're probably into the 600s now. Where are we here? 515, 520. Oh, nope. Biggest fan now says, biggest fan is Jay at 525 to change that. So if anybody wants to be the biggest fan, it's 525 points now. Oh my! Scrub uses Dadcraft's rainbow what type of symbol? Big deep. How dare you! Ooh. So now we have Scrublord as the biggest fan. Scrublord redeemed Jay's. So now it becomes Scrublord's name. Okay, let me get this dirt out of the way. That's what I'm looking for. This needs a shulker box for more junk. Get the dirt out of here. And then we can put in the bone blocks because they're going to be here with the cherry logs 1 block further out. So I'm just going to mark that one by going up here a couple. There we go. And that will be all along there, the new one. So let's get bone through. 530 now. Ooh, climbing. It's climbing. That's actually, I'll be honest, that's actually one of my favorite commands. Is the biggest fan because it keeps changing. That's purely all there is to it. It's because it keeps changing. Okay, let's cut this one as well, since I've got the wall in the way. Why am I putting this one, like the actual bone blocks in this spot? I don't know, because nobody's going to see it, but it's more of a because I can, I suppose, rather than need to. This one. There we go. Mark that on the corner. Out and turn. 1 and 2. There we go. What have we got going on and missing on here? 530. Okay. Marbles, are you up yet? Here we go. It's functional. Ooh. And it's making lots of noise. That's okay. Let's see what have we got. Settings. Can I just turn down the volume? Nope, that's not what I want to see. That's okay. We'll go with that. Okay. Switching sounds. Marbles sound should be live as soon as I switch over to the Marbles screen, which is not pointing correctly. Oh, there we go. All right. Actually, go to, yep, Marble screen is live. And now I'm not getting sound. I wonder what's going on there. That's okay, we'll go with it. All right, so we're going to try a race with more sound. Papers, a little quieter, please. Okay, so to get the map choice for this one, it looks like Jay had actually, we'll figure that out in a second, but Jay had actually pulled wanted one particular track, So we just need to have in the chat, you're going to get it, the sound to die out again for a second. There we go. Okay, so we need to have exclamation point vote and a number in the chat. I'm just going to use exclamation point vote and a number, and that's the track we're going to use. Hey Benson, good to see you. Ooh. Is this before or after the bath that you gave Ippa this morning? 13, all right. $20, okay, we're gonna... Let's see. Okay, Benson, I saw yours first, so we'll do track 13. And give this a race. Before, and she attempted to again afterwards? What a goofy dog. All right, so this is truly where you type in exclamation point play to start. And being as this one does not appear to have any sound at the moment, then I will try and put stuff on top. We'll see how that goes. Just a little bit of the usual Spotify. So Fantastic Sherlock Fox is in. Anyone else? I see Benson is in. Is Jay in or Scrublord in, for example? Let's see. That's reasonable. All right, Oh, I forgot. Scrublord's in. Yep. Welcome in, James. Good to see you. Jay, you don't want to miss your opportunity. All you need to type is exclamation point play to get in here. I'm not sure if Jay's still around. Okay. I did already bounce the points for that one, so we can always have another one requested later. So let's give this 15 seconds and see where we go. Okay, good. It's got base. Now, I don't have any of the bumps or anything enabled for this one. I'm not very good at that whole bump business. I'm like figuring out how that works, but we definitely should get this moving soon. Okay. Uh-oh, I got the turn. I remember how I got up. I'm trying to remember how I go down. Control Alt. Oh, whoops. Down is Q. Are you kidding me? Okay, fine. They're headed through the spin. It looks like Scrublord and James are fighting it out for first. Those loops, though, don't really know who's first. Oh, and into the spinner we go. No! Scrublord got yeeted and James is in first so far. You gonna make it straight through the end? Come on, let's get this speed going. My cam is a little pokey. At the moment it looks like Fantastic Sherlock Fox is in first. Who's gonna make it down to the end? Oh, I'm cleaning up the rear. Yep, we're in the right space. Oh, James has got the lead now. And it looks like he may have a clear shot to the end. All right, let's see. There we go. Looks like there's pins down towards the bottom, so we wouldn't want to hit those. Is James going to make it? Right through, slides past the first pins, stuck by the second, but not tossed off the board. Third, oh, and in! Congratulations to James. Fantastic Sherlock Fox, are you in second? Let's find out. And it looks like Benson's going to be in third. This is going to work out well. Get me in here, Scrublord says, and then he got tossed. What a ripoff. What a ripoff. So it looks like I had the time to beat on this track, but I certainly didn't today. Congratulations, James. Way to go. So James came in first, followed by Fantastic Shock Fox, Benson, and myself, and I'm so sorry that Scrublord got tossed. All right. Yay! Yep, so, woo. Hush, marbles. So, ooh, Lego. Wrong one. Wrong screen. I'm still trying to sort out where I want all my buttons. There we go. Marbles, you can be quiet now. Thank you. I like it, but it's loud. RIP. R.I.P. So Jay had only asked for one track, but the opportunity is still there for people to ask for more if they wish, or a package of 5. But those are your clue points to spend with as you wish. I'm not going to tell anybody how to spend their points. And I would not want to see anybody left clueless, unless that was intentional on their part. Yes, I've been looking for that pun for months. I'm easily amused. So what I'm up to here is I'm actually just expanding these corners by 1 block each, so that when we put in the walls, like you see up front, then we can actually have room for putting a little bit of a border in there, and it's a 1 block recess that actually will have a little bit of a distance back. I think that's going to look half decent. More than half decent. Geek Out has changed. So the Geek Out has become, let's see, what is it here? 4 bands or groups named after cities. I'll start with one. We've got Chicago. Hey Poodle, thank you for dropping on in. I did get your message about your choice for your private command, and I'll probably try and pull something out of the first link you sent me, because I listened to them and they're pretty cool. I just haven't had the opportunity to get that functional. Hoping it'll be by tomorrow's streams. No guarantees, but we'll have to see. That's a good thing for me to work on this evening. Doing well. I can't spell. All right. No hurry. Sooner the better, because the sooner you get it done, or the sooner we get that done, the sooner you can play with it, right? That's half the fun. It gives a little bit of color when you drop on in. Bingo! You gonna make the star? Oh! Missed it by that much. Alright, and then this one. I should probably get a Maxwell Smart as well. I think that might be kind of amusing as a sound clip. I know it's been a little overdone, but I kind of enjoy that one. I've been watching a lot of the Maxwell Smart television in syndication with my parents. The sound clip amuses me quite easily. Oh no! So is the sore back from, or still related to the tomato moving from yesterday? Or is it something different? Because I'm hoping that you'll be able to recover quickly. Ah. Yeah, I'm out of shape enough that I have actually very notable trouble moving very full, particularly wet, 5-gallon pails, and yours were twice that size, so I can see how that would be an easy candidate for some back strain over that. And we've had sore back issues in our household before, particularly with Fantastic Sherlock Fox. So we hear you. We hear you. We hope you recover quickly, because it's not fun. It's not like one of those sicknesses, you know, where you can just like veg out on the couch and watch shows, because sore back is one of those ones that if you don't move, you can stiffen up. Thank you very much, Scrublord. You have the fireworks of the day, it seems. I appreciate that a lot. Now, my only caveat to anybody who's either getting a sub or gifting a sub is that I request they make sure that it's not going to put them in a financial tight spot. Because we get a bit of a really crummy exchange on gifts up here, which is fine. I mean, fine. But what I'm saying is I really appreciate every single one of the gifts, and shows of support, but I want to make sure that nobody is getting themselves into hotspots. Also, last piece on that was just that letting you guys know, in order to maximize the amount of benefit I get from your support, I'm actually currently storing it in American funds so that I don't have to worry about exchange at this time. And then when I decide exactly what I want to spend it on, then I can spend that in American funds, because that's the easiest way to not get hit by all the exchange problems. So yeah. At some point I'll probably look at getting some more emotes. That's the plan. Or that was one of the plans I promised you guys a while back with the gifted subs and such. That's still on the radar. It just hasn't happened yet because I I'm still struggling with brand. Something that I identify with as brand. And so until that surfaces, it's kind of difficult to get my brain around wanting to spend for properly done emotes. Someone like Poodle, for example, has sort of a default branding when you go with Poodle Pirate. You kind of have a default pirate branding. So at this point in time, I'm trying to figure out whether or not I want to go with something completely different, or if I want to go with something related to the Up movie, based off of that's where I got the Russell part from. That we'll have to see. I'm still not sure. Yeah, exactly. Like I tried. At the moment, it's an account where if I put it in American funds, then it either has to come out in American funds for an electronic transfer, or it has to come out in American funds as actual cash, which is a bit of a problem when we're in Canada because you can't do much with it. Fox, can you hit the star? I missed it by that much. Ow. So yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm doing the best that I can with the support you guys are showing. But even though I'm traveling overseas, we're not going anywhere where American funds are very useful, so I'm not pulling any out for this particular trip. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes you can find on the internet tech discounts that are only available in the US and not in other countries. And in those cases, it's worth it to have, pardon me, to have other funds available. Okay, let's go with this one. Where are we here? Birthday money for custom modes. Awesome. Ooh. Yeah, that's another one. Canva's got some really great opportunities there. It's one of those, I have to look into it deeper and still have to figure out what branding is to use for that one. It's just that we haven't, strangely enough, in the last year and a half, we haven't actually had a whole lot of any real thing take off here that would get themselves an emote. Like, I mean, to give you another weird example, even without a brand-related element, an emote regarding, oh god, I'm going to try and say this on camera. We just call it Worcestershire. But, you know, an emote regarding Worcestershire sauce would be kind of funny. Just because there's been some goofiness in other channels about it. But it never really took off here. I'm okay with that. It's just one of those things that didn't apply to this channel. So, yeah. 2, 3. And I'm not going to cry tears over that one. Okay. So there, that's giving you a better idea of what this one will look like, and then we're going to shoot this design up the corner as well. Oh, come on. Did I pick up that block? Must have. Okay, time to sleep. Yeah. It had to do with a conversation on pronunciation. So James said, if it were me, I'd be spending it on Amazon, mostly because I already purchased things on there, and sometimes it's cheaper to buy from the US and pay for shipping than buy in Australia. Exactly. We don't have as much challenge in Canada because shipping is stupid either way, but we're part of the Prime program, so we don't have to worry about the shipping. Thank heavens, that does apply. Yeah, let's just finish off this wall. Oh, nope, not that one. Oh, nope, not that one either. I want to go... Yeah, this one's put in wrong anyways. There, that's better. That's better, so I've got all the corners wrong. Okay, I can deal with that. There we go. But yeah, so that's what I want to do. And at some point I'm going to probably talk to our bank, because there is other account types where I can actually do more online... Oops. Oh. Weird. Okay. I can do more online shopping from American accounts, but not the one I've got right now. Well, isn't that... Okay, that's a little frosting. So with the blocks where you've got the, like the hyphae, where you've got the surface on all sides, even if I put it in, come off the edge of that block, it goes vertical this way. But because I put it off the edge of this one, it goes horizontal that way. And I actually wanted it horizontal on both sides. I didn't know that. Huh. Well, now I know. Yeah, no, ours is really only on the Canadian Amazon, but because Canada and US are what they are, we're a little bit more able to... one's vertical on both, okay. We're a little bit more able to get as many of the products. I mean, I don't know if there's a supply difference between Amazon Australia versus Amazon US. Like, I don't know if there's an offerings difference. Canada is virtually nil. There's sometimes we run into problems like that, but most of the time we get the same stuff. But that means that, and a lot of the companies, they may not always ship Prime. Oh, whoops, I'm doing this wrong again. They may not always ship, like, on the Prime program, but just about all the companies on there will ship to Canada regardless of whether or not they're on the Prime program. Oh. Ooh. I guess these corners, I was originally wanting them to be all horizontal all the way along, but I guess the corners are going to have to be vertical purely for the fact that these blues will show. Actually, that's because it's going to be vertical one way, horizontal another way. Not to mention 4 to 1 is a bit of an expensive cost. Let's just go vertical, I guess, except where it needs to show twice and not have an end. Up, up, up. Flip-flop. Wow. Scrubloader is really smacking everybody around with that flip-flop today. Okay, this one. Do I have? Aha. There we go. There's a system. Maybe. Aha. I can get off that. I'm gonna move out anyways, actually, now that I think about it. And 2. Yeah, I'm standing right on top of where I need to be. That's okay. You're cooking tonight? I don't know if I'd really want to have cooked off of a flip-flop. Although they do say, you know, it tastes so good I'd eat that on a flip-flop. So maybe you are cooking tonight. Fantastic Show Fox has been very accommodating. He knows the meals for tonight and tomorrow night are definitely not ones that I enjoy, even though our kids quite like it. And clearly he likes it, or he wouldn't offer it to the kids. But, not something that's on my favorites list tonight, so he's being very generous and not making me have it. Or at least not both nights, I guess. I can't off the top of my bean recall what he said about the second one. We've got band across there, band across the middle, band across the bottom, verticals on all sides. Okay, so we should be able to show you guys what the first side looks like. Now there's going to be cutouts because, of course, we have to get the mechanism sticking out. And I still need to run the purples all the way up the sides. You can start to see what the inset looks like. I think I like that inset a little bit. And then the blue... the teal, aqua, your choice, look actually helps blend the whole thing into the guy up above. Alright. So let's see if I can get back on this one. Can I super jump? Oh, nope, missed. Missed! Let's try that again. And up. Nope. Nope. No can fly. That's okay. Go up in this corner. Then we can put some more of the birch into the walls. Come on. Jump. 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 So the... Oh. So I've got a little sound that makes... Little sound. Thing on my computer makes noises. I know it's going to sound weird to say that, but it makes noises when people put... what's the word? Words. W-E-R-D-S. Birds are hard. It's makes sounds when people actually chat, but it should not be making sounds for commands through the bot, and now I understand why I thought it was. When it's not really. It was just the Geek Out has changed. So we're talking 2 sets of actors now who have been paired as couples in more than one film. And I'm assuming they mean romantic couples, or husband and wife pairs, or something like that. However, if we can go beyond that set, by including, you know, buddy movies, or frequently matched up male actor couples, or mixed, yeah, then I would do that. For example, I think I've only seen Robin Williams and Nathan Lane paired up once, but I would have loved to see it more. The 2 of them did The Birdcage, and it was fantastic. Because they both do a great job of pretending that they are the artsy metrosexual variety of same gender interest. And they just did a really good job of it, and I would have loved to have seen more of those 2 paired together as actors, but it was not to be, unfortunately. Okay, here we go. Oh, nope, not birch, but grief. Wrong one. This one goes up further, and we're going to come across... Nope, not that one. That's going to be bone. Okay. Up, there we go. So we are in line with this one? We're double checking. Yeah, okay. I have to fix both of these rows anyways, which means I might as well just go across the top. Oof! Oof is right. In more than one film. That's the tough one. I mean, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Aniston is a kind of an obvious one, I should say, because we've seen a ton of those 2 together. You know, Bennifer and all of that. When it was a reality, it was easy to see them in films and such together. Okay, there we go. Nope, no, not this one. This will be bone block. Interesting. I can never remember. Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. That's a combination I completely forgot about. And that up top was even wrong. Okay. Come on. Can I place blocks, please? That's better. Sandra Locke. Oh. Anybody who can put up with these for that long gets kudos from me. I'm used to him being an actor who's reported to be very grumpy. It's not just that he plays grumpy characters, but that he can be very particular about his characters. I'm just trying to remember who else I've seen. That's definitely two sets of actors been paired as couples. And this is incorrect, because that one will be vertical. I went the wrong way. Do I have more cherry? No, I do not. Okay. Let's take this row out then. Oh. Okay, well, that's not going to solve my cherry wood problem at the moment. I have to go down and get it. If sequels count, then Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. Yes, definitely more than one time. You're talking about the Rush Hour movies, I think. And Jackie Chan said those are some of his least favorite of his career. But the thing is, in North America, we're just not really used to as many good quality movies with martial arts in them. And honestly, a lot of the Hollywood directors I say really do, how do we put it? They've reduced the martial arts down to like fancy waving hands. You know? At the moment, actually, I'm not. I have both. Don't ask why. I'm not really sure why anymore. I knew, but actually, so the one in the more, the one that you're seeing in the corner at the moment is Zero's mini-map. I do like Journey Map as well. I'll give you the real quick rundown as to the whys in between the two. So Zero's, when I just drop stuff on the floor, I'm just gonna throw stuff up. Okay, you can see, oh, I can't even zoom that in, shoot. Plus, no. Okay, I don't have those rigged at the moment. But you can see a few mass map. Even here, you can see dots, right? These dots are the entities that I've just chucked on the floor. If I dropped something or whatever, which works well if I'm working with mobs or something that I want to pick up their loot, then I can actually see that something's been dropped. Like for example, oops, there's a spider over there. I can see in the distance because I'm indoors. It's showing me a cave. And let's zoom this out. And there's something over on this spot, and it's a piece of rotten flesh dropped by skeleton that hit the sunshine. So I don't care about that one. So Journey Map doesn't have that feature. However, until recently, Journey Map did not have a cave mode. This is cave type is off, but if I turn it into layered or full is mapping everything from as far down as bedrock all the way straight up. Big mess. But if I go into layered and then change it to whatever layer I want based on where I'm standing, for example. So let's say I'm on 103, so let's say I only wanted to see stuff from the same sort of vertical chunk as the 103, then that's overworld there, and this other stuff is caves. Until recently, this sort of layered business, let me turn it off though because it's not really fair, but that sort of layered business was only available in Journey Map. Another reason I like one over the other at times is, as you can see on, actually my minimap isn't too bad right now. So what do I got? What's UAC? Oh, somebody had an ancient city listed. But these individual spots, you can go in and turn them on and off, but in order to do so, what you need to do is pick one. Where's mine? Let's go, actually Dragon Fortress, that'll do. So pick one, and then you can edit whether or not it's local, global, or same thing on the map, which talks about whether or not it's visible or from the whole time, or if you're only close enough to be within your, whatever you've got your range set to. And that's just a big pain in the butt to have to do that for every single spot you want. If you want, you can't just turn them all off as a whole bunch all at once. You can't just turn them all on, or there's no clickable turn it on and off. Whereas Journey Map's map, there we go. Options, close, oops. Okay, so how do I do that again? Journey Map? Okay, so now we're in the journey map version of the full screen, and it's not only are its colors a little funky, but when I go into their waypoints, oops, close, not that, the waypoints. So here, this is manually copied in, so some of these are wrong and they're old. But I can, for example, I can turn on the spawn point just like that. It's easy, done. Right, if I close this, then we'd have a spawn map marker showing up over here. Tiny, but still it's there. Right, and it's that simple. So I can just go in and click on, click off, right? If I want them all on, I can just click it and everything's turned on. I can click it, everything's turned off. So it has bonuses in that respect. The other thing it does is journey map. You can see there's a, maybe not very well, but there's a tiny skeleton head in the middle. You can see it on journey map in the full screen map. Whereas if I look at this same zone, it wasn't until recently that Zero's actually included mobs on the main world map. So I could probably switch to Zero's entirely, and I may do it now that they've switched the cave mode and whatever. But I just wanted to make sure I had all of my waypoints copied across one to the other before I started switching things like that. There's no real differences in the mini-maps. Sometimes what they offer you for labels between the two is similar but different in how it's set up, and certain options are a little bit different, but that's just like minor little taste things that one could simply get used to because they are so close that really it's a matter of getting used to the differences. But yeah, so I don't recommend using both, but I had a reason where I was using both until recently. And now I don't need to anymore, and just have been too lazy to pull it out. I was actually quite surprised I was running it because when I log into DC's server from my laptop, because I'm doing a bit of off-camera work, hanging out with the kids, or like while they're doing other things during the day, then I don't have Journey Map turned on that one. Like it's still in the list of mods, but it's not enabled, so it doesn't load during the day. So yeah. Oh, fiddle. Because I can't crouch through this one. Eek! And I didn't want to do exactly what I just did. I got to the edge of it, then I tried to crouch. Silly mistakes. Yeah, so now you have your answer as to why I use what I use. And there's neither one better than the other. One of the things that got me using Journey Map on this particular server to start with was that Brian Stoner Miner had created his list of coordinates, and we didn't have a spreadsheet at the time, so it was easy for him to just share. Oh, yeah, okay. It was easy for him to share his coordinate file with me. Just that he just sent it to me over DM in Discord, and then I just stuck it in my Journey Map folder, and boom, all my coordinates were populated. So that was easy peasy. I don't know if there's a similar way to do things with Zero's Minimap. I just never looked because nobody ever asked me. So I certainly can look at that and share it. You know, it'd be kind of nice to have a mass database, but then that would imply that we're sort of encouraging one type of mapping system over another, which I don't think is a wise idea because different people like the way different ones behave. But that's part of why some of the things we had were functioning and some weren't, is because I've got, with both maps in there, my formerly comfortable set of keys for zooming in the mini-map and zooming it out and that sort of jazz are all messed up because I've had to sort of split them up amongst the two different mods, so there'll be a lot of poking at that to get sorted eventually. It feels config heavy, but the defaults aren't that bad. It's just when you're running two, they tend to have collisions because some of the instructions are fairly intuitive. Or not instructions, sorry. Keys are fairly intuitive, and that's why they're used in both. So yeah. That's the short story made long. And I'm sticking to it. Isn't that how it goes? There was something I read once about, I think it was a Reddit post where somebody was trying to claim that one type of mini-map was more friendly for streaming purposes than the other, but I don't recall if that had to do with frame rates or heavens knows what it was. So I can't vouch for any of that, but I just know that that had been said, and maybe there's something to it. I just once again, you know, limited time, limited priorities. So I need to decide what I'm going to make worthwhile looking into and what I just don't really care. If it works, why? If it ain't broke, why fix it? Isn't that how it goes? This one, that one, this one, and that one. Yeah, that looks great. Okay. So I'm taking out all the glass because this section in the back here, if I can obtain enough, and that's a big if, I'm hoping to make it look like crying obsidian. But the if is, I'm not organized enough to right now to source that material. So sounds like one of our fine friends is willing to put together a barter farm, in which case I would happily pay for the service of standing there and getting all the things. Ooh, well, thank you very much for the new follow. Thank you very much, Tranquil Land. And I did say hello, but if anybody I say hello to wishes to lurk, just feel free to not respond to my comments, and that way I will be clued in that you're not necessarily, available for chat.
Your attention, please.
No! Uh-oh, what did I miss? Over the shoulder view. What? What? Somebody wants me dead. Okay, we can do that. Well, hopefully the over shoulder part, not the dead part. All right. Okay, I'm just going to get to the other side and get the bed slept in. It makes it a little easier to get the commands for the timer set up. There we go. All right. So I do have a 5-minute timer for this one. And as soon as it wakes me up, we can go into that. So 5-minute timer should show up. There we go. And I owe you this one. So I'm playing in this mode for 5 minutes or so, which can get me killed or mildly frustrated at minimum, because I tend to place things very wrong. And I will do my best not to rig what activities I'm doing to prevent myself from falling in things. Okay. Where is it? Best trade ever made for me is, and I've mentioned this many, many times on stream, but is the sneaky pants or the swift sneak, because that way, when I'm crouching a lot not to fall off things, then I actually have some pretense at moving at a half-decent speed. Oh. And... oh, that doesn't look right. Oh no, that is right. Okay. This way, that way, this way. And the timer doesn't make a little noise, but it does start flashing red at me on my Stream Deck when I've run the timeout. So that's how we know when the 5 minutes are up. Yep, the sneaky pants. I can't remember who I was listening to that started that, but I heard it, loved it, and so kept on with that set. But I mean, it's because you put Swift Sneak on your pants, right? Although it does, I will say, in the Across the Pond format, the idea of sneaky underpants just seems a little bit too weird for me. And the phrase sneaky trousers, just, I'm not sure why it's funny, but I think it's my bad pronunciation without the local accent that makes, oh, see, I nearly did it. Oh, there we go again. My poor pronunciation is probably what makes it sound extra funny to me. The idea of sneaky trousers just seemed odd. But yeah, we were doing a stream weekend this weekend. This guy is very, very blue. He still needs a lot of help. But I'm actually noting that when I come out from a distance, so if we free cam our way through this one, just take a quick look from a distance here. The blue's not actually that bad. Awesome! Okay, so I need to... oh, nope, I need to get back into this one. And for Tranquil Land's sake, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue playing out the next 2.5 minutes and then do the stretch, just so that your timer for playing in over shoulder view doesn't get gypped, because that's not really fair if I take the pause for the stretch it out. And yeah, though I do appreciate that as well, because I can feel it. I'm slouching. Oh, and I made a hole. Made a mistake. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Come on. Yes. And that. And this. There. There. And I need 2 out for this one. Yes. Yeah, now you did say you wanted a stretch.
Hello?
And I am skipping this stretch for now, not delaying, or sorry, not forgetting about it. I just don't want to jip you on the timer for the over-the-shoulder. I don't want to short you on that one. Yeah. So, honesty in that respect. And I still don't have enough bone blocks. What did I do with all of them? Weird. Oh, I know. I only calculated... Okay. I only calculated the lower level. I didn't think about the upper one. That's why. Alright, well that means I need to take another row of glass, or at least 1 block, so that I can actually get down in there and pick up these blocks. Because I would have been able to possibly force them out if I had some, what do you call it, if I actually had the appropriate stuff. Ooh. Okay. It's funny how this just sort of disappears, like it's not there and I should be able to jump. I'll admit, it's funny enough, but it's giving me the heebie-jeebies, even though I'm not in first-person view in this character. Thanks, Poodle. Enjoy your lurk. And if you're doing dinner, enjoy your dinner. Alright, what have we got here? So we're about 15 seconds left. I'm just trying to see what I can do that's useful. Okay, we're gonna need the strip log, but that's for the lower one. Let's go down and do that. It's probably easier. So I can come up and put some more bone block in. Ah, see? I can't... Now I can't seem to approach my way through the stairs. Okay, there we go. Ow! I forgot to deploy the wings. Naughty. First I have 1 bone block. Okay, this one... Yeah, that one's been outlined correctly, so we can start putting in the birch. Alright, red. Perfect. We'll go back to that in just a second. I can be me again, right? Okay. So I'm just going to pause and just give a quick stretch. 1, 2. I can feel everything in my back, like just cracking up. I'm making crack pop noises. I mean, if you've got some, great, but I really don't mind just heading back to the base because I've got to cut some more of the warped anyways for some other project stuff, and so I'll definitely be able to turn all the warped blocks, the leaf things from the warp trees into bone meal. I've got bone meal composters at the wazoo out there. I just haven't bothered. So I can also do these 3 walls before I head back anyway, so it's not like we have a ton of stuff to do, but I do appreciate the offer, James. If I get really stuck, I'll let you know. Much. Actually, it really does feel a lot better. I'm also sitting up a bit straighter, so that's something very much appreciated. You bone block some of your ears. Oh my goodness. My goodness, I wonder what your ears will think of that. Okay, this one. Don't worry, I'm not very good at jokes. I try them anyways, and it still doesn't work. I'm not a Drew Lynch. If you don't know who that is, you're not missing much, but they're a comedian that was on one of the Got Talent shows. And they were actually funny, as well as doing a good job of making a bad situation into something better for themselves after they had a major injury. So I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, I can probably stop my timer. Blinking at me still. There we go. So for those of you that can't see it, let me empty my hand for a second here. We have had 39 deaths on this server, which normally would look really, really bad, but I actually do have proof that... Oh, no, not that one. What did I call it? I don't remember where I get into statistics. Oh, can't get to statistics without... Oh, whoops. Turn on the shaders, that was a mistake. Okay. so I need to get to the statistics. There we go. That one. Death log. So we had a lot of fun. Actually, it says 41, so I'm a little bit short. Let's go up by 2. 1. Come on. And 2. Oh, came up as 1. Okay, let's try one more. More, and let's see if we can find that death count. Where is that file? I have a lot of sources on my screen. I'm trying to figure out where I put Java death count. Do-do-do-do. I hope if I look at the correct screen. Okay. And death counter Java. Properties. Java text. Okay, it's saying 40. So we're a little bit off. I think it takes its time to update. There we go. That should say 41 now. Or not. It'll update when it feels like it. Okay, so on the screen, you can see I've had a lot of death. But what's nice about this one, we know who got me. So right at the beginning we had a bunch of generic creepers and fall from high places and ghasts and whatnot. But then we had a day where we were doing a bunch of slain by and then player names. So Lava King and PP Zerk, and so I was PP Zerk, CJR Williams. So we had ourselves on the 17th of February, we had ourselves a very nice mass death run. Basically, the only way you can get player heads on this server is by playing PvP. Like, you can't even get them by killing yourself or dying. On this server, we've got them, and you can only get them by PvP. So this death log one, not only does it give me very accurate times, it shows me, it's a mod, of course, it shows me what I had in my inventory at the time. So for a more realistic usage of it, when I tried to summon lava to escape a ghast, I was carrying quite a lot. And so it was nice to be able to have that record as part of my stuff to be able to see what I needed to get back to in order to restock and reset myself. So the most recent one that it's got loaded that was pretty dumb. I was trying to hurt a zombie, and I had a bunch of basic stuff. And then Wolfen clobbered me on the 17th. That was the other round. That's the first one. Need the other end. Yeah, so I haven't died since May, although that could always change anytime you like. Yeah, so I was carrying pants and hat and something happened. And I got blown up by a creeper. So I picked up my stuff and I got blown up again. And then it still records there. So some of the ones where they're identical, I do wonder if it's recording both. Even though I've popped a totem, I'm not fully sure how that worked. But yeah, so I'm falling from high places and stuff. But it's nice to be able to see what I've got, because then I can take a look at it and go, okay, my boots had... Here's... Oh, you can't quite see it. Okay, let's try... Okay, so the sword, there we go. So you can see what I've got on the sword, which was kind of nice. And it says press mouse 3 to copy or give. Of course, won't be using that on a server. But it's definitely something that could be useful in solo, or if everybody had op or something like that. Alright, so that was handy, but also what's nice about one of the mods I've got... actually, it's not mods, it's... it'll save pictures for me of what happened. So, for example, display capture, you're going to see a bunch of junk on your screen, so give me a quick sec to shut down this one. F9. Minimize, there we go. On. And now you can see what I see. Alright, so the other thing I find really useful about the whole thing is that on the console window here, where is it here? Oh, nope, where'd I put the console window? Screenshots, there we go. So when people were off to clobber me, quite literally, view folder, there we go, we had an awful lot of screenshots. See, view, extra large, there we go. So we had a good bit of fun. Oh, did I get rid of those ones? Nope. So we see some random ones. So when people clobbered me, they really clobbered me. Right? I got PP Zerk smacking me. I've got a few other people beating me. So this is a picture of the last thing you see before you kick the bucket. Right? So I had a good one. And yeah, so this was part of the head clobbering night. And these are all sort of the last second before I died kind of stuff. So that was kind of a neat little, I guess, feature, you could say. And it's nice to be able to share that. Thank you for coming by, Tranquil Land. And thank you, James. I can't believe I was that oblivious you were here, and then I may have even ignored it thinking you were one of the pictures I was showing. Thank you very much, James. Do you need your shulker back, by the way? What was I gonna say about that? Oh, so yeah, we had a good evening. That's where a lot of my deaths come from. No, please no. I need to make another run to the shulker farm at some point. I've up to this point been surviving on the stack of shulker shells that CJRV Williams dropped off, and just hadn't had reason to change it. I had to go get more, but now that I'm starting to get supplies that are worth putting into shulker box for travel reasons, it's easy. There's stacks in the spawn house. Ooh, so maybe I should raid the spawn house then. And now that our fine friend Shay has some ender chests, then they too can raid the spawn house and even be a wandering nomad. It works really, really well. Ask Wolfen. Our mistress of yurts truly is quite the wanderer. Very good at it. It's a really good reason to an encouragement to explore the world when you're going around building little littles. Let me correct that. Absolutely large, fantastic, awesome yurts at people's places. And yes, I will sound like a TV commercial, but to say if you're on the Java server and don't have a yurt yet, created by Yurts Truly, what is wrong with you? Get on the horn and organize yours today. Can you tell I like old-fashioned commercials? Actually, as I mentioned earlier in another stream, Fantastic Sherlock Fox and I like watching a couple of different YouTube channels. They're supposed to be those like nostalgic ones, or previous generations kind of thing, or not previous decades. And some of my favorites are when they show little like clips of commercial jingles, or remembering things like walking through the yellow pages and let your fingers do the walking. And I think it was an AGT thing from what did AGT stand for in the US? I have no idea. In my province up in here in Canada, it was Alberta Government Telephones, but I don't think it's what it was for in the US. And it wasn't even AGT anyways, it was AT&T now that I think about it. Having a yurt certainly don't hurt. Sounds like I would say probably one of the toughest parts about figuring out these yurts is trying to sort out what color you want them to be. She does such a good job. I love the shape. I will have to move mine if it doesn't end up working out when the wall around the town I'm building is Shrewsbury, England inspired. If the wall doesn't end up working out where it is and I have to go through the yurt spot. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it because I don't want to touch it. It's so nice. I actually didn't expect one. I hadn't booked one, and Wolfen kindly came by and set one up, which is perfect because I didn't have any guest accommodation. And now that I do have a yurt, I would not give it up for the world. It makes me smile. I was trying to explain to my kids what a yurt is, and their experience of yurts, or like the internet's experience of yurts and other people's versus what I had experience with, makes me kind of wonder if there's more than one style, because what I had experienced as a yurt, everybody tells me isn't one. So I don't know. Real life yurts versus awesome in-game Minecraft Wolfen yurts. The real world ones cannot compare. Wolfen's definitely kept herself very, very busy lately by building all these yurts. Alright, let's see. Did I get this side lined up correctly? Yes. Excellent. You're making progress. Good question. that's sort of what they appear to be here. I think it's a... Well, my brain wants to say they look like the Mongolian sort of round tent, something like a... If you're familiar with the idea of a canvas trapper's tent, they're a lot like that. Although I don't know if that translates down south. Or, yeah, up south, wherever. But I don't think it translates all that easily. The yurts that I was familiar with and had dealt with growing up were actually, maybe it's a Canada thing, for all I know. They were actually like a circular cabin of sorts with a conical tent on top. And I was wondering if that might have to do with just the fact that Canada's stereotypically a cold place. By the way, this reminds me, actually, of falling off things. There will be a new command coming. It can be run by probably the... well, let me correct this. It'll be done as a two-stage piece. So if it's run by someone who's not a mod, then it'll just get counted in the system, and the mod will have to run it to actually make it show up as a count on screen. Sort of like not a non-mod requests it, and then the mod has to trigger it. It's just to prevent spam, spamming of the command. But what it's just going to be is some format of derp. I know that's, you know, not a new idea. I know it's been going around, but the number of times I fall off things where I haven't actually died means that, you know, the idea of just using a death counter isn't enough. I derp quite a lot. And it doesn't have to be just falling off things. I mean, that could be a fall command of some sort. But just a generic derp thing might be kind of fun. So that's one of those things that I might play with over the next few weeks. It will be, well, it's coming soon, TM. It's more that I get ideas and then I don't necessarily take the offline time to play with them because I get on a roll doing whatever the project was. For example, a lot of weeks if I'm doing something on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then DC's stream starts, or, pardon me, I raid into whoever, like tonight it'll probably be Stormy, a huge Stormy Owl, and then I just keep on going right through Stormy Owls, right into Dadcraft's own stream, just keep working on the project. Which is funny because when you guys see the stuff that I've been working on, it never really looks like I've done that much progress. That's because I tend to try and save a lot of the weird squirreling, like cleaning up the chicken farm and that sort of jazz, for when I'm not actually streaming. Because it's too easy to squirrel in stream. Aw, man, that didn't work out. Oh well. Really? Okay. This is the slow version, but that's okay, it works. So I'm going to deal with healing this stuff off. Can I reach? No. Fine, let's do what we can. We'll have to come back anyways. Come on. So, yeah, as I'd known yurts and tried to book yurts and stuff, they tend to be for us, circular wood cabins with canvas type top. But even Fantastic Shock Fox says that's not really what a yurt is. So I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I haven't actually Googled it, just because it was one of those, did it really matter elements. Okay. Oh, right. Sure. Why not? Oh, okay. So that's how it works. Never tried to do two successive right-handed things before. Which is funny, because you would think I would have done that by now, having played since 1.9, I think? Maybe 1.10? But I'm totally not... Oops. I'm totally not OG. Where did... Ah. Okay. Can I... I'll take this side. No, thank you. Alright, this one... Oh, nope, not that way. That way. Okay. My hand just got really sweaty. Makes no sense. It's hot here, but I can't really do as much crying all around as I'd like because Canada's idea of hot is like, so was it yesterday was 34, which I think 30 is about 84 or 85. Let's see, what was it? So actually what's right now, oops, my watch didn't charge. Okay, right now we are, temperature, please. $24. Okay. So we're about 23, 24. Convert 24C. So we're only about 75 Fahrenheit. 24 is not bad. I can be actually wearing a sweater up to about 24. So that's not too bad. Whereas converting 34, which was the high we had yesterday, we're 93, which is not something that our area is all that used to. So it made it uncomfortable, to say the least. So you can start to see what I need to do with the rest of the scaffolding. Let's see, well, since I'm here, now that I think about it. Let's see, what does the internet say a yurt is? If you haven't Googled it already. What is a yurt? According to Wikipedia, it says a yurt from the Turkic languages, or gur, which is totally incorrect pronunciation, but in Mongolian language, it's a portable round tent covered and insulated with skins or felt. Okay, what is a modern day yurt? Let's try that. There's an article from a website called Outdoorsy.com, which we are familiar with because you can also rent trailers and stuff from their app. So the classic yurts are made from wool felt draped over wooden structure. It's very much like a tent, except that yurts are circular in shape and far more stable. Modern yurts, like the ones designed for glamping, so glamorous camping, can have multiple rooms with partition walls and an ensuite bathroom. So there are many people in Central Asia that still live in yurts and call them their homes to this day. But yeah. Glamping yurts are hilarious because some of the ones that we've seen had, what do you call it? So I'm trying to do math, not math, think, there you go, while I'm talking and it's not working. Give me 1 second. So 1, 2, 3, actually I just have to go up to that level. Duh. You probably would not be surprised to hear I was originally a blonde, and actually right up until about my very early teens was like a platinum blonde naturally. Oh, welcome in, viewers. Welcome. Welcome to everybody. So when you guys get a chance, if you guys could let me know what you were up to, that would be highly appreciated. Thank you very much, Skyfire, for the raid. And if anybody else wants to, you can always type in !drop to get your own drop into the raid.
Hello.
Sky with an S raid. Okay. Welcome. Tiz is hilarious. Tiz is awesome. It's funny. Tiz almost always has a way of surprising me. and I love it when they come to visit. And I'm very glad to see yourself as well, Skyfire. I think we've had you in before, and I appreciate every moment of it. It's always good to have as many friends as you can when you're playing.
Hello
this game.
there. Hello there.
Because it's fun to share it with friends. Oh, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. Yeah. Just easier. There. So, hello to Mike on Switch as well as Tiz and anyone else that was in there. Tiz with an S versus Tiz with a Z. I see. And so they're teasing about Skyfire with an S. Gotcha. I was trying to figure out how you'd end up with Sky without an S. I really overthought this too much. See? Blonde. Okay. Actually, I probably shouldn't say that. That's an inappropriate thing in these days. But not exactly the swiftest response. How's that? Alright. So what we're working on today, I'll give you guys a really quick boo. I think I'm safe enough in here. Use the free cam. We'll just cam ourselves around. Come at it from the far side, because it spawns in sort of strangely. So I'm working on basically, if you've seen the movie Big, you will have seen... Ooh, love it. Nameless. Ah. So if you've seen the movie Big, you'll understand the reference. I'm doing something somewhat similar to one of those Zoltan or Zoltar type fortune teller-esque machine things. But this one's going to be fairly basic, and just use yourself a dropper and then have some messages come out the bottom. So we've still got a ways to go, but the what do you call them? I can't even talk today. The wool and terracotta dude was built on Stream Weekend, as well as the majority of the box, and I keep changing elements about the box. So now I'm at the point where I'm finally putting some of the walls on, and it's debatable as to whether or not we're going to end up with a viewing window into the mechanical workings. I think I may put one in, but it's going to be a small one, and it might end up in this back corner over here. Or it could be, another option I might go with is something more basic, like a little door, that rather than saying employees only, it'd be some sign along the lines of like, you're welcome to look, but please don't touch. But, yeah, because it's not going to be any sort of miracle of modern science or something like that. But it'll get the job done. This particular build was actually suggested by Fantastic Sherlock Fox. I was wondering what to do on stream, and his suggestion came up. And I thought, well, that'd be actually kind of cool and just different. Didn't really think through the how at the time, so I had absolutely no idea how I was going to do it. And the scale itself, I could have actually gone with trying to figure out how to build it around the size of the mechanics, but as you can see, I've got a lot of space. So what I just opted to do instead was purely take a standard... Oh, I got one down there. How convenient. So I would take a purely standard villager trader head, and then just go 1 pixel is 1 block. Simple as you please. So there we've got 1 pixel is 1 block. The nose is a little flat, it needs 1 more layer. But yeah, generally that's what turned out. Which ends up well, that's actually kind of... Tiz is all over this like a dirty shirt. You know me better than I know myself some days. That's right, actually. That's part of the reason why it really resonated with me, because it's kind of a magical effect without really being a magical effect. And one of the earliest magic effects actually was an automaton in the... Oh, geez, I do have that. I want to say 1400s? I can look it up. But anyway, yes, I have books at hand that can do that, which is kind of creepy. But one of the earliest known sort of magic illusions, I guess you could say magic props, in that respect was an automaton. What that one did was actually did a cups and balls routine, which virtually is, if you've ever been out traveling, sometimes you'll see people busking with what they call 3-card Monty. But suffice to say, the short version of it is you have Do I have any shapes around here? Nope, no cups. Okay. But we've got a cup, and then there's one in the center. And you'll be shown a ball, and just one, showing that it's empty under all 3 cups. Then you set it down, and then they put the ball under one of the cups. Quite clearly, quite obviously. And they mix the 3 cups around, and then people lay down their bets and lay down their money, or in this case, the automaton for the king would move things around and look nice and fake about how it was doing it. And the idea was that the king could reach out and tap on one of the cups just to say, okay, that's my selection. And the automaton could lift it up, show you that you're wrong. And when it's done as a magic illusion, often it's done the same sort of way. They don't bet, of course, but people will put out their cups and stick the balls underneath, and then do little illusions like showing you how the cup appears to pass through the cup below it, and different ones about how the ball from underneath one cup will disappear and show up under a completely different cup, or it will disappear under one cup and then end up joining up and being with another ball on the second cup, which makes no sense because there was only one ball to begin with, so where did the second one come through? And depending on the artist that's doing the magic act, you'll see a variety of different styles in how they do that. So yes, there will be more of the magic tricks coming through eventually. I'm working on, in a solo creative world, I'm working on, not even intending to make it mechanical, just the visual prop for an item or an act called the Mismade Lady. And that one is I was going to say fairly straightforward, but what magicians would term as the effect, so how it looks, is in essence 4 blocks stacked up together. Do I have 4? Yeah, okay. So 4 blocks stacked up together, and you would see a person being normal. Let's not use this one, that won't work. Do I have anything I could actually show that with? Aha! Well, of course, in 3 or 4 colors. Perfect. Alright. And let's just get these out of my hand. So the one I'm working on in this other world, the idea behind that one is you've got your 4 pieces stacked up, right? 3, and then, can I get the 4th one? Is it worth it? Well, you'll get the idea. Anyways, you won't necessarily need the 4th block. But there is 4 in the usual one. And then they get mixed around in such a way that you can put them down in a completely, let's go with, yeah, a completely different order. And then when you open the little, so you have a stack like this, the door opens up in the front, like a big panel, and a lady steps in, right? She just steps in to the routine, and then when you mix them all up, then then they open up the little doors on the front, and she's all mixed up. As in, you might have your feet up here, and her bottom section, like shorts or whatever, would be down in this one. And then her shoes might be up above her head, and like her head and arms would be chilling out, just hanging out in the middle section. And then they close up all the little doors and they rearrange it back to the original order, pop the door open, and she's fine. I have never had the opportunity to be in that one. I would love to, but I've been inside one where they call it the zigzag. It's the same sort of concept. You get your pieces and they open the door and the lady steps in, right? And then they actually pull the center section off to the side. And they can open up, like you still see the lady's head, you still see the lady's feet, and often they'll be holding a scarf or something, so you'll see the lady's like little scarf poking out, and then they'll open a little trap door, like a tiny one, in this section and show her belly or something, and you can tickle it and she'll giggle and so on. And then they take it back, push it back in line, open the little door, and she steps out and she's fine. We've done that one. There was one actually done, what did I watch recently? Trying to remember. We watched Aladdin as a Broadway production as part of our Broadway Across Canada. So it was Disney's Aladdin, but it wasn't based off the cartoon exactly. I mean, it had live action people. And, well, clearly. But I mean as in, like, they dumped out some of the cartoon characters. So you didn't have the little Apu monkey, and you didn't have the little tiger, and I can never remember what the tiger's name is. But in any case, in that one, they actually used some pretty cool magic props that I think might be kind of fun to build those two, just because they've now been seen in the show. Raja, thank you! Exactly, Skyfire. So yeah, Raja was replaced by 3 rather ridiculous, like, clearly servants, but, you know, girls that are supposed to be the, in essence, paid-for confidants, friends of the princess. And so, they had a lot of them doing things, but it didn't really have the same feel for me. Nothing wrong with it, it just didn't quite have the same feel. And Apu the monkey was replaced by 3 guys who were supposed to be like the absolute best friends, thievery team and stuff for Aladdin. And that, to me, didn't really work either, but I'm just picky. Right? We all know that. I'm just picky. And... okay, that's the widened line. That's the narrower line. That's the narrower line. So right above my head... oh, right, okay. Sorry, I forgot that that's the correct widened line, which does not match up with this one here. That's the way it should be. Now I get it. Okay. Because this line right along here is going to be bone blocks. That's why I didn't finish the bone blocks, is because I didn't have them. Okay. Now that I understand where I'm at, and I can use... we'll get there. Ow. So, they had some really cool tricks in the Aladdin production that I might consider building versions of. But none of the builds I was doing were doing more than showing off the effect of the prop. They weren't actually showing how the prop is built. The exception to that, I might show off how how one of them, called the Britannia, is done, because that one, it's kind of silly. And it's one of the ones that's old school enough, I sort of wish that routine would just vanish. But it's because a lot of people don't perform it very well. Like the Aladdin's crew and stuff. But, you know, I'm opinionated. As in, some of my favorite magicians that I used to watch growing up, and some of them I've met, like in some of your TV stars and stuff, but some of my favorites growing up, unfortunately, are no longer with us. Which is a huge shame. But, you know, sometimes life just has to end at some point. Okay, but anyways, point is, it's kind of neat though, because sometimes there's shows that you'll see on television, like Penn and Teller's Fool Us television show, where twice now they've had magicians that were very famous in the magic community show up and just do a stint on Penn and Teller's show to surprise Penn and Teller. That was the whole point to them being there. For anybody who's familiar with older television, I guess 80s and so forth, from the UK, there was a gentleman that used to do a show there. His name was Paul Daniels. He had Paul Daniels Magic Hour, and he had his little catch line, or sort of tagline, and that's not the word I'm looking for. Catchphrase, I suppose? We used to say, not a lot, not a lot. And it was just kind of funny because his son came on the show, and his dad came too. And the way they did their act was a very classic version of something called the substitution trunk. Or the metamorphosis. But you didn't get to see how it was done. Actually, that was the Greg Wilson one. I'm trying to remember what the Paul Daniels version was. He did something, I can't remember what it was. But both of them did Paul Daniels' version was one of the world's worst levitations. But neither here or there. Stormy's up tonight. Yay! 15 minutes. Okay. So you guys caught that? That's 15-minute warning. I tend not to try and go overtime on nights when other members of our sort of larger community are streaming, just to be courteous, and also it offers me opportunities to learn from them. But I definitely, 15 minutes is a good time to let you know that twofold. One, I shall be back twice tomorrow. So once at noon Eastern and once again at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then once on Thursday. And then after that, it becomes up in the air. My family and I are headed out of town for 2.5 weeks, starting in the first part of August, so around about the 3rd. But I don't know whether or not the 1st and 2nd, so the Tuesday and Wednesday that week, will be busy with other preparations, or whether I'll have time to stream. So I can't guarantee they'll be streaming that week. Pursuant to an older poll on my website, correct that. An older poll on my Discord, then there are people that said they wanted to see more of the Bedrock world as solo. So we'll see how far we can get on this guy. I would like to have at least one session of the Bedrock this week, just so that everybody can see where pieces have been left at in both worlds, so that if I do get a chance to play during downtime while I'm on vacation, then we'll have had a baseline to work from for when I come back. See, Tiz, you know how to be an awesome mod-type personality. It's fantastic. What am I looking forward to on the trip? Well, one, I've never been to Ireland. Two, supposedly there's a scout hut nearby, which thrills me to no end. I know it sounds dumb, having grown up being a Girl Guide, but, some things just don't make sense. But another piece I'm looking forward to is I would like to see how my family reacts to each other. Because my son, the older one, has not seen his grandfather in person since my son was young enough to be a toddler, not remembering much of anything, and able to fit in a basket. As in, carry it over your arm type basket. And I have a photo of my son in the basket with a whole bunch of toys that he had just received from his grandfather. And they have never met each other in person since. My daughter, 2 1/3 years younger, has never met him. So it'll just be interesting to see how they get along and stuff like that. I would love to tour some of the standard tourist spots, but I also want to know a bit more about what the locals and or transplants are into. So there's definitely going to be walking by the sea and so forth, because those are important things. Well, it would be very interesting to see, because I'm especially interested in that front for my son, because he and my husband, Fantastic Sherlock Fox, share an awful lot. Like those two are very similar to one another in a lot of personality ways. So they get along well because, he and his father get along well / half decently, because sometimes they can have sort of a second opinion for things going on in their own heads, or what they're thinking about various things, and can both talk their way through elements logically. My son is still got, the emotional side of youth, but a lot of his behaviors and the things he's interested in and the ways he likes to look at life are very similar to Fantastic Sherlock Fox. Obviously he's got parts of me too, but a lot of his personality, I think, is like his dad. So it'll be really interesting to see how he and his grandfather hit it off. Or if they do. Sometimes people are too alike, in which case they can't stand each other. So I'm hoping it'll be a good thing, and it's pretty likely to be a good thing. But, I'd like to see how that goes. One of the things I'm hesitant about is, as we discussed before, my daughter, who's chosen the web name Sheep Queen, is very, very, very pro-sheep, as in we do not eat lamb in our house kind of thing. It's partly to be supportive of her interests and such. But that could be interesting being in Ireland. Though I will say my father-in-law and his wife are very, what's the word? Health conscious of late, I guess. So they're into far more healthy. What is this? Dude, nobody invited you. No. What are you? Hey, rude. Very rude. Where's the spider? Oh, come on. I move, you move, he moves, she moves, they move. How about going away? That'll work. You can despawn now. Yeah, I got one, but the spider's still there, so that's less in my wheelhouse of happiness. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out, because I'm looking forward to seeing people eat. And, I mean, partly because they're not familiar with our kids' likes and dislikes and so on. Then there'll be some shopping and such, and my husband will be doing some of the cooking so that we can make sure we get things our kids will eat. But for the most part, I think they won't have too much trouble, because we're for practical purposes, we're a fairly pub interested family. So our kids actually do like a lot of the kinds of foods that you would get over here in a pub. I mean, they're not into, like, you know, boxed deer or what do you call it, chicken pot pie or something. Goodbye. You're not invited. So our kids are not into that sort of thing. But if you take them to a pub and you can get them a side of fries and a plate of salt and pepper wings apiece, they're happy. Very, very happy. When, like, we give them the choice sometimes about where would they like to go out for dinner, and they will actually pick the pub. You know, they like to start with a good dish of calamari. Emphasis on the good dish. We've had some bad ones that just were not worth the time. But yeah, so I mean, I think that'll work out fairly well. It's not all about pubby food. It just means if there is some of that to be had, then our kids will not be completely out of touch. It's raining, but it's not thundering, so I don't need to worry too much. Let me double check. Yeah. So we have about 5 minutes left. And just for those counting. So I'm hoping to be able to touch base with the Swanky sometime this week. I'm not sure what our schedules will be, but to try and sort out the interior of this place, at minimum in a creative world. So one of us will probably share screens or something and get her built. Just to see what his idea is. I was talking to him this morning on Discord, and it sounds like we're very much in the same, like, if we're not exactly on the same paragraph, or at least on the same page in the same book, onto how this could work. And the easiest way of doing these sorts of mechanisms, like the one I'm standing in, is, you know, dispenser. It randomizes. Off you go. But I wanted it to be a little bit more interesting than that, so that it's not all that easy for me to predict. So for example, if I go through themes of advice, I don't even know what's going to go in there. But if I'm in a particular vein of working on a certain set of advice or fortunes, then I'd like to be able to randomize that in with the mix, rather than going, oh, okay, you know, we've got another half dozen left before we ever get into the ones that were, I don't know, fake fisherman related or something like that. So this will be nice to mix it up a bit. So we're looking at ways of doing that. There's a possibility of using some minecarts for that sort of purpose. Some hopper minecarts. But then even further to that, it'd actually be interesting if we're able to trigger those as part of a thinking process, so that in essence, the trader up top can have a sort of I'm thinking session that you'll be able to hear by hearing the minecarts move around. Kind of like when people joke about the wheels in your head spinning. You know, or we can see the smoke pouring out their ears as they're thinking too hard. And so that might be kind of nice to do that. And then when they roll around and hit some sort of chime, whether it be a bell or something else,
Hello?
then that will just indicate the thought process is over. And then they're back into, it's ready. Please press the button to receive your, I don't know, I was going to call it wisdom, but maybe it's susness might be more accurate. Hey, Dibble Shrugs! Good evening! You're catching me a little bit on the tail end of this stream? I don't make episodes, I don't know. Catching me a little bit on the tail end of the stream, but I'm really, really glad you came by, because it's always good to have more friends dropping in. And curious to see what's going on. I will give another couple of minutes of throwing the wall together here. Then we'll take another free cam around the front and see how it's starting to look. Because we're not that far off. So the toughest part to get... No. The toughest part to get for this build is going to be the... Oops. I just switch it again. No, zombie. You weren't invited. Didn't I tell you that the first time? Yeah. Well, thank you very much for dropping in after work. I appreciate that. Hopefully you had a good day at work. The toughest part for this one is probably going to be obtaining the crying obsidian for the back wall and or an appropriate alternative. I've been looking as an alternative backup as to whether or not to do a whole wall out of this stuff, but it just looks too... Like, this helps blend in the blue we've got up top when it's elsewhere, like just in little strips like this, but when it's on the whole thing, it's a bit much. So I'm not sure... Oop. Oh no. Come on. It's a bit much, so I'm not sure if I'm going to want the whole thing being this tone. It actually... I did it again. Really? Let's just do it the classic way. This way, this way. Go. So, yeah, we're gonna see what we need as an alternative. I've had it suggested of trying Gilded Blackstone for my personal fear purposes, in terms of like whether or not I actually feel I could pull that off. It's unlikely. So that's... Crying Obsidian would be easier. Oh. Well, that's where you came from. Go away. I would say I have to light it up, but what's the point when it's going to be filled in? Okay, so we're 58 after. Let's go up, because those guys don't seem to harass me so much when I'm up. Okay, and then let's fire it out. So I don't know if you guys were able to see what happened on the weekend. And, ooh, snow! Huh. Guess we're near that. Okay. So what I worked on the weekend was the figurine for this piece, the statue. And it's just quite literally a trader, so you can't see it very much when you're here. But as you come in closer, it just pops into view. So that's a very large trader, and it's literally just 1 block to 1 pixel, which is probably the laziest scale known to Minecraft. But for some of the details, I don't think I really could have gone any smaller. And going larger, it'd end up with like a 2x2. So we would be 4 times this size, which we really don't need. I mean, I could probably fit the entirety of the shopping district inside in that case. Let's see if I can sleep this off, because last thing I want to have happen is a creeper come up and ruin the district. No, it's not night enough. Okay, well, I guess that guy will just stay there. Oh. Come on. We're not a 0 here. We look like we're close. Okay. In that case, let's put down one of these. Add some light on the situation. Alright, so we are exactly at the top of the hour. So I think this would be a great time to swap off and start our raid towards the fine stormy owl with feathers flying. I want to say thank you to everybody who came in. Really appreciate seeing people I haven't seen in a while. It felt great. I really had a good time seeing everyone. And let's get that stormy raid started, and then I'll say more specific thank yous.
Mischief managed.
Excellent. I love it when a button actually works. All right, so, oops. Thank you today to, thank you today to Scrublord for gifting 5 subs today. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you ever so much. Thank you, Skyfire, for bringing in your community. We appreciate that always. Also, thank you to Axie and Tranquil as well for new follows. We've got Jay, Scrublord, and Tranquil for spending your points today. And thanks to Benson, Sherlock, and Sherlock Fox and Scrublord for being our moderators. Also thanks to Tis for Truth, James, Jay, Axonym, Springer Shadow, Poodle Pirate, Tranquil Land, Skyfire, Mike on Switch, and Dibble Shrugs, for being our fine chatters today. If you were just hanging out and lurking in the background, I really hope you had a good day today and that you continue to have a good one. You're always appreciated, always welcome to drop in, drop out, or lurk as you feel. And this will be a welcoming place for you to come and hang. In the meantime, grab yourself a set of emotes if you can. It doesn't really matter which ones you use. And we will head over to Stormy Owl. Give her our best, and I will be in very shortly. Have a great evening. Bye-bye for now. You are always a fine chatter, Mike. I did see that. Dang guy.